whilst I fucking played them. I forgot or like see them.
I do not remember. We'll see, I guess, later, maybe.
Let me see. Oh yeah, right. It was Azula. Azula.
Looks like we're getting ready to see a. Oh yeah, Azula sounds right. Yeah. Looks like we're getting ready to see a battle of top tiers here. Zim and Danny. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk on the town. I mean, well, there's always a lot of talk on Danny, right? Like, there's
a lot of talk on town with any character in this game at this point. I mean, you know, you can dig up a bottom one character and say something's broken about them.
Right. But Danny, especially because I feel like he's been like endured as like a top one contender, and it's one of the few characters you can really like say that about. I can't really think of any off the top of my head that you can really say that about either.
It's been interesting to see because like we all know Danny is such a good character, and yet like a lot of the Danny players have kind of, you know, they've been experimenting with other characters, especially Zhang Zoom's been playing whoever at this point, I guess. I don't even know what that guy's up to, but it's been harder to rank Danny because I'm seeing a lot of development from these other characters, and then I'm seeing Danny's development kind of slow. Yeah,
it's like I don't want to say it bothers me because like I think that's dramatic, but like it's something I think it's like yeah, I'd say it bugs me a little bit when people, you know, switch off their mains a bit, experiment. A lot of other people really like seeing it. I've always been like, though, like I really want to see people stick to the character, develop their mains, because like despite it may be blow to people's pride sometimes, but like no character in the game is fully figured out. Like at all.
Not at all. Not even the first game. I don't know if any game is fully figured out.
Exactly. It's such like a big thing to try to even approach doing, especially in a small community. For less people, so it like naturally takes more time for that kind of stuff to happen. I think case in point here is like, sorry to interrupt you, but Lucie's character choice here is Zim, right? I mean, it's a character we saw be called garbage for most of this game's life.
I remember that, yeah.
And like now he's like a top 5 contender. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely like a pendulum swing, right? We had Zim as this character who was seen as bad. Something needed to be done to help him out. And then they proceeded to give him like the most insane like options and tools. And it's like, whoa, okay. This was lying under the hood the whole time.
But at the same time, I think he also has had some other crazy tools that are underutilized. Like laser's always been like a plus on block pressure neutral tool. Grenade's always been like insanely useful and insanely versatile. Sup air has always been a demon fucking move. Like it's crazy how much of this like people didn't know until someone tried to like sat there and like develop them. Especially I know
someone just sat there and decided they wanted to use only Sup air, and that changed Zim's meta for a little bit.
Literally, that's easy, bro. Like literally. Yeah, but sometimes it happens though, man. I feel like, especially you have a character that's like on the surface as complicated as Zim is, with all these moving parts and pieces around his game plan, it can definitely be really easy to sort of overthink that, right? I think that's even me testing the game. I tended to do that a lot with Zim as well. I think person actually got a lot of the Zim stuff toned down, which for you, it may be hard to believe that Zim was better at points, yes. But the person actually got a lot of his stuff toned down with Sanji. He's a person that's like really good at like, you know, finding these abusable options and, well, like having the
abusing them.
Yeah, like being able to like abuse them. People have like a lot of pride to like do that a lot of the time. I'm like subconsciously even guilty of that too sometimes. But I mean, like sometimes that is what like a character needs to further develop. I think Zim's a perfect example of that.
Especially like the archetype of character, it can be very easy to, you know, use one oppressive option because that might be what you have to keep an opponent at bay. So if that oppressive option becomes everything you have, or becomes so good you don't need anything else, that kind of becomes a problem.
Yeah. Anyway, to summarize, develop these fucking characters, stop switching off and bracket, play your fucking mains. Anyway.
Wow, these two main these characters, so I think we're in for a treat.
They do, yeah. Lucy been practicing a lot with these the Zim, I know, so I'm definitely really excited to see what they do with them. Listen, I know Zim annoys me a lot of the time, honestly, but I think his design is like pretty cool when people do cool stuff with them. Lucy's still also one of those I feel like tries to do some really cool stuff, like this cool sequence we're seeing right here. 97% on the board already for Lucy, big percent lead at least.
I noticed Lucian using the Zim, just the laser without Gur, which is very rare, I feel.
It's like, it is, I feel like it shouldn't be, because this is such a good just mid to long range sort of like pressure tool. Kind of like, especially for a zoner too, it just stops people from like in the tracks and getting in, does a little free percent if they run up shield. It's plus on block, the charge in there, getting very close to killing ledge scenario. Yeah. That's up there is like so good for ledge trapping, bro.
Especially because you do it while retreating as well.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty hard to get around. Mark, one stock deficit. Lucy struggling, or threatening rather, to make it a 2-stock one, but 120%. Mark trying to find this kill, but having some trouble getting in. Lucy putting up the wall. Back airs in though. If it's edge guard, they do up the top. That'll get a kill.
Here comes Gur into play. Definitely gonna like change the tide of the battle. Especially that frame 1 explosion. I believe it's frame 1.
Ugh, yeah, it's so scary to deal with, honestly.
But anytime Zim could just have this little remote bomb chilling around, interrupt combos or save Zim from a tricky situation.
That's the thing with Zim, right? Not only do you have these projectile on top, but you have a whole puppet to deal with. Right now, Mark not dealing with it right at all. Threatening to get the kill off the side, 63%. Mark saying, I'm not out of this yet. Do not count me out.
Good job weaving through the bombs on that Supper using Denny's Esther.
Also pretty good Mark DI'd the forward throw out. If he DI'd in, you would have comboed up strong. You do it the forward air will cover the jump off that ledge. Lucy, the lead is getting closer. Mark is definitely fighting back. Pick up strong. That's wow, it's probably gonna kill.
Big stage.
You always surprised, like the top last one's actually pretty small.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the bigger stages.
I think the side blast is a pretty big fight, remember? But I think the top blast one's actually like surprisingly the same height as like rooftops.
Really? The more you know. Get something started here. Traditional Danny combos.
I like Mark sort of getting them away from Gur too, separating them from that combo so he could interrupt it. Oh, DI that in? Yeah.
That hurts.
Oh,
that hurts a lot.
No. It killed Infinity 2B.
But all we can do is laugh, and I'm sure that doesn't feel good to get hit by.
No, not at all. I mean, it's Danny though. He's very light. So I mean, it's kind of what you sign up for sometimes. The cost of all that power, but the power that snare is just too much, bro. Second time in a row. Killing with that. Lucy going up 1-0.
I love seeing some of the more niche moves being used. That was really interesting. That's what happens though when people like truly main a character. You find a use for every move, even if it's not necessarily considered good. I mean, you'll find somewhere some niche scenario where it might actually be pretty good. Not to say that lasers aren't good though.
Oh yeah.
I think crazy.
I think them can often just have like sort of a tunnel vision problem, where like there's like situations where like I feel like I should do a different option so there's laser here.
I feel like it can be pretty easy to tunnel vision on Gur as well.
Yes, very.
Which like that's not something I experienced really as a Jimmy player, because when I'm on Goddard, I'm already on him. I can't move as Jimmy.
Yeah.
But if like I was playing Zim, right, I'd be focused on controlling Gur so much that Zim may just walk off the stage.
Unique sort of differentiator between these two characters, or those two characters rather. They're both puppet characters, but both very different ways, and that comes through in the gameplay.
Yeah, I remember like they always do like the Smash comparisons before these games come out, and it was saying like Jimmy was Snake and Luma, and it's like, well, Zim and Gur are kind of closer to Rosalina and Luma design.
A bit closer to that spectrum of puppet for sure. But game 2, going to Miracle City. Very like counterpick stage, so not too surprised to see it come out.
I think Mark likes having this room to run away from whatever Sim's got.
He does not like being pressured by his gird, though. That is like making it very hard to get things started in the first session of this game.
Well, with Gur out of play, it's time to get in. We're gonna get grabbed in, back throw into the snare.
That's gonna be the problem against Zim sometimes, man. When you get in, you still have to deal with a character with like decent close range options still.
It's kind of a double-edged sword of this stage is that it may have give you a ton of room to move, but at the same time, like those side blast zones are kind of close.
I like the catch with the down air, but did fall up on it in a optimal way necessarily.
Ooh.
Still alive, but the charge down
Nasty
there
angle.
Do it, yeah, very. It makes like damn near straight. And we see a lot more pure pressure on this, patrolling the platform. I love to see that from Lucy. Deny that movement, deny where he can go. That's
Lots of maneuvering here.
Yeah, it's like a really neat aspect about Zim, right? You can sort of just set up this area denial, excuse me. Almost like you're playing like a fucking like that's a comparison, like an engineer in Team Fortress 2 type shit. You know, you have your sentry there doing shit for you. You know.
Yep. Definitely get that. Yeah, that's definitely one area that Zim has expertise in is just denying you from certain positions. And when a character like Danny has so much movement, you have to be very careful not just, like that side special there. Don't run into the bombs, don't run into Gur, don't run into whatever Zim's doing.
Right. It can be like a very, I think it's a very back and forth matchup because like Danny is better up close, of course, rather. But like being able to just deny how much Danny can move is like a privilege in that many characters where you have, right?
Yeah. Especially with how like async Zim's stuff is, where you can, throw out a bomb and not necessarily worry about it, or throw out Gur and not necessarily focus on him. Yeah. That kind of stuff gives you so much room to work with, because you're not really tied down. Exactly.
At least you try to tie down this top 16 placement in the winner's bracket right here.
True, that's true.
Away. Mark definitely having a bit more trouble this one, man. I feel like the stage choice kind of come back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, I think Lucien may just have better experience on this stage.
Yeah, it just seems like.
I think the zoner characters will really kind of excel here.
Yeah.
So once again, it's area denial.
Yeah. It's an interesting, like, sort of stage because, like, it can really depend on the characters, what kind of character, like, so I was going to hear better. Either way, Lucy's so to work on this one stock. Mark try to even up percents a little bit, but every hit is hitting so hard from Lucy. Side B through it, but still gets down there for the trouble. Stacking up more Mark's credit.
Ooh. That's one advantage that Danny has is a lot of his moves just let him, with a slime cancel, just snap back to where he was originally.
Yes.
And that gives you the ability to just dodge some pretty crazy stuff.
Big dash attack though. Mark wants to
last stock scenario.
Yeah, definitely. Big situation for him. Yeah, we see him being careful on the approach. Big tech chase right there. No
problem. Dash dance again here. Looking for these tech chases and grabs.
I feel it. 115%, man. All it takes one strong, and that is that right there. The up strong will take it for Lucy. Lucy moving on to the top 16. Definitely very solid play from both sides of it, Mark, it definitely seems like Mark's probably